Hey everyone, Matt here. Going to be continuing the titleless discussion of coloring in comics today. Today I'm going to be discussing a couple pages from Dragon Wing in Robot Volume 5. Pages I'm going to be showing you are very textured through color, and texture is like one of those fancy things that we get with nice printing now. So before, you got texture in inking, which if there was a good use of black, like black is not a color. However, I will say this: there's more than one types of black on the page, and the way it's printed, it can be very effective. However, focusing on the color part of it, show you what I'm talking about. Now, look at these pages right here, and understand that these are fairly muted colors, but they are also very, like, the shading in here works through to give it a vibrancy, says sunlight, all that stuff, and the texture that's in the fabrics right here, like, you get a sense of what it feels like, you get a sense of like making it pop out more. And moving over to the other page, you get a sense of like what time of day it is, what time of year it is, and it's a very simple technique, I think. Like it's a very painterly effect in that there's, like, you see, like right in here, like there's like a slight gradient. It's like light, dark, then very light, then dark, and it gives it a really 3D effect because it's like giving you the sense of proportion that a 3D like lighting would have. Then moving on to something like this, you have, I love this shot, by the way, like the folds, see, art, as artistic as it is a series of rules, and if you follow the rules, you get to make a certain result. And just pointing out, like, the coloring techniques in this, you have like these various like gradient areas, like, but the sound effects really offset it because, like, for the most part, they're solid and heavy. So while I got the book out, I might as well point out a couple other examples by other artists just to give you an idea, like, different ways to approach coloring. Alright, I'm not a huge fan of watercolor style, but check this out. Watercolor, just in use of a fantasy style, or I don't know about fantasy, but like dreamlike almost, or like there's almost like no rule like that I can discern, like, this is pretty much the same as this, which is the same as this, so this is a shadow, but this is like, I don't know, a break in the sky or something. And then you have, going through it, like, I want to say that white is the strongest color in here, just because it's the most, like, unifying. Like, there's, like, the cat is black, the fish is red, but, like, there's this stuff right here that you have no idea what the hell it is, other than, like, scenery that adds to the ambiance. And using watercolor like this works when you're doing like this kind of ambiance and what you want to do. Like I have no like there's certain things you look at and you say, oh, I could do that, and you look at this and it's like, dang, this is very surreal and very, like, I don't want to say minimalist, but like very simple and very complex at the same time, and it's just gives you a sense of like dreamlike or very fantasy like. And I want to say that this white right here is not this white, but I'm not entirely 100% certain. So, like there's certain color tricks, like if you ever read like Albers, like certain color studies, you would see it, but like just to give you an idea how important subtlety is, supposing that this white is not this white, having an all-white character for the most part, that's like why you got to pay attention to details. Alright, the reason why I've been talking about coloring past couple videos is because I'm going to be coloring this book right here eventually. This is not the final cover, but this is the cover we currently have going. Just to give you an idea of what it's about. It's a guy just beating each other up, and the story so far is Mark Hurley is looking to broker a peace agreement between two gangs, not because he wants them to get along, but they don't get along on his home. So we're going to be discussing like page 3 today. So alright, so this is the meeting of Mark Hurley and the gang leader of the bowling alley guys. So like nondescript controller, that could be PlayStation, could be anything, but I love shots like this whenever you have glasses, because putting the character inside the glasses gives it the natural like looking down effect. But if you're really good about how you do things, you can actually get the expression of the guy in the glasses. So this is the scene within a scene. So we're setting up that they're playing video games right here. So it's just these two squares, their shapes, I should say, right here, lets you know that it's guy on the left, guy on the right. And so very much Street Fighter style. It's Shaolin Wizard Dude versus like Kung Fu Maid with fireballs, and Kung Fu Maid wins. Now, this is how you know that this guy is going to be tough, because his character won. So this is a little bit of foreshadowing. Now, let's go over to the next page. So, admittedly, these pages are very condensed, because when you create on like a budget, shall we say, you want to be fast-paced. Now, mind you, I wanted this story to be fast-paced from the beginning, but this is a let's see, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, it's a 6-page story. So, 6-page opening story. I want to point this out to you just because we have the shot again, looking at the glasses, and because he's looking down, when you go to the next paragraph or the next row, he's lower. So this is like, and speed lines are a little old-fashioned, but they work so well. And like certain animes now do impact lines, I should say, or I think it started with Dragon Ball Z. I can't figure out if there's any more that came before it, but just like the impact that comes off of like high power punches. Like, I'm trying to think of what would be the first one, but I want to say it was like versus Vegeta, or definitely in the Frieza arc. Like you saw like boom 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 boom, like fireworks going on. So pay attention to like how me and the artist set it up. So all right, right straight, left to the hooks. So it's two different arms, and you don't get the sense that that this guy is tough, because he's already bleeding out the nose and the mouth, and he just gets punched down right here. Now, the way this panel works is it goes straight down and then it goes over here. I wish I had some breathing room on this one, but this is gonna be so much better lettered when there's color, because I didn't do word balloon outlines, because when you're doing black and white, you have to keep in mind of what you're adding to the page, and like the lines would have like gotten all cluttered up with the tails and the word balloons. So I'm looking forward to fixing things like this, just because it'll make it easier on the reader to read. And I'm also going to change the font on the word balloons and all that stuff. So I got my work cut out for me. Alright, thanks guys. From now on, I'm gonna keep the page breakdowns from the book after the fancy coloring demos I'm going to be showing you guys for this week, just because I do want to try and emulate the kind of colorists that I like. And I showed you guys Patricia Mulvihill yesterday and Grant Golish, and I showed you two guys today. So I'm going to take the lessons that I don't even know if they're lessons. I'm just taking the stuff I'm pointing out. I'm going to try and attempt it, even if it's like amateurish, in my own work. Alright, see you tomorrow, guys.